Hi everybody, how you doing today? I hope you've been having a good week. Today we're going to continue on the topic we talked about last week, which was 7 easy tips on how to lose weight after 40. So last week we talked about how after you hit 40, people talk about how it's like a magic age. And I said it's not really a magic age because you start to gain weight and not so many great things are going on. You know, I've worked my whole life to stay in shape, and we eat on a heart-healthy diet and everything, and sometimes in spite of all of that, just because you're over 40 and going through all the things you go through, you start to gain a little bit of weight. And so I'm giving you 7 easy tips on how to lose weight after 40. Last week we talked about the first 3 tips, so you can look at the video from last week to see what they are, or you can look at the link to the post that is in the description and you can go find out what the first 3 tips are. So today we're going to talk about tips 4 through 7 and what those ones are. So tip 4 is pay attention to the medications that you take. So lots of medicines can contribute to your weight gain. So I know we think, you know, medicine is supposed to help us, but sometimes some of those side effects include gaining weight, and that is not fun. That's not what we want. So what can you do about it, especially if some of the medications are the ones that you really need to survive? So a doctor, Donna Ryan, says that sometimes antidepressants, steroids, antihistamines, and beta blockers can be the culprits. So she said you can talk to your doctor about other alternatives because there are some of those types of medicines that are weight neutral, or some of them even help you lose weight. So that's a really good news. So don't think, oh, I got to stop taking those medications if one of the side effects is weight gain. Definitely don't do that. Go talk to your doctor first and see what he or she can do to help you maybe change your medication or figure out how to counteract any of those weight gain side effects that the medicines have. All right, number 5 is make the time between eating longer. Now I have to admit this is something that I can't do because I have low blood sugar, so I have to eat every couple of hours. So this is something that I can't try. And definitely talk to your doctor before starting this just to make sure it's okay for you to do. But in the Family Circle magazine where I found all of these tips, this was one of the tips. So a lot of people decide that they want to eat dinner early and breakfast later. So an example they gave is if you eat dinner around 6 p.m. and then you don't eat breakfast until around 12 p.m. And a dietitian says that it's an easy way to limit calories without counting them. So what I do, since I have to eat every couple of hours, since I can't do that, I've tried to, instead of eating less, you know, with more time in between, I've tried to eat a little bit less at my meals. So for example, at my 9:30 snack, I normally eat low-fat ice cream or some kind of baked dessert that I made, which is made healthier with egg whites, applesauce, all of that stuff. And sometimes I have Chex Mix and rice cakes. So my doctor said maybe try eating a little bit less of the sweet stuff. He didn't say I have to stop it altogether, but eat a little bit less of the sweet stuff and more of the not so sweet stuff. So that's been helping. So I take 1 less scoop of ice cream, or whatever dessert I make, I scoop a little bit, cut out a little bit less of it, and then I eat more of the rice cakes or Chex instead. So that way I'm still feeling satisfied eating enough. It's just a little less of the sweeter stuff and a little more of the healthier stuff. So that's an idea too. The 6th thing is to make sure you are eating enough fiber. In the article it says that now, after you're 40, that your metabolism is starting to slow down, but your hunger may not be. And I can definitely tell you that this is true because half of the time I am starving. I feel like I haven't eaten anything. It's like I eat dinner at 6:30, and then 8 o'clock I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so hungry. It's like I didn't eat anything. So Instead of just giving in and eating whatever we want and eating every time that we're starving, there's something we can do instead. We can eat things that will make us feel fuller, and fiber is one of those things. So the next time that you're starving, try to eat something in it that has fiber, like whole grains, legumes, fruits, or vegetables. So if you eat more or things with protein in it, all of those are going to help you feel more satisfied for longer, so that you're not starving an hour later or something. And then the last one is, oh, hi Nicole, thanks for joining. So the last one, the 7th tip, is to see your doctor regularly. And I bet you could have guessed that one, because in all the tips that I've just been giving you, they've all said make sure you check in with your doctor. That's really important. So my doctor, like I mentioned, gave me some of the advice about how to, cut back on the sweet things like I mentioned earlier. So, and the only reason I know that is because obviously I went to see my doctor. I didn't go for that, but I was at my yearly physical, and I mentioned to him, I've been gaining a little bit of weight, and it wasn't a big concern to him, but he knew I was concerned about it, and of course we don't want it to keep continuing, so we want to put a cap on it. So of course he was willing to give me advice to help. And since your doctor knows your individual health issues, it's that he or she would be the best person to ask, because they know, your doctor knows whatever you have going on and what's okay for you to do and what's okay for you not to do to help you lose weight. And sometimes another doctor in the article that I read suggested that it might be a good time to get a comprehensive blood test that includes the full thyroid panel, because sometimes as we get older, we're more prone to having hypothyroidism, and that can add to your weight gain. So it's a good idea to get it checked, because it's treatable, thank goodness, right? And sometimes that treatment can even help you lose weight. So I'll recap real quickly the last 4 tips we went over today. Pay attention to the medications that you take, because some of the side effects may have weight gain on it, and talk to your doctor about alternatives. Make the time between eating longer if you can. If not, I talked to you earlier about what to do, so you can go back and watch the video again to see what the solution is. Make sure you eat enough fiber, and see your doctor regularly. So if you have other ways, watching the replay or now. And then of course the link to the whole entire post is in the description, and you can go back if you want to see the first 3 tips to last week's video and watch there and see what the other 3 tips. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I will hope you have a really great week, and I will be back here next week to talk to you about something else. I haven't looked yet, so I don't know what next week is, so you'll just have to wait and be surprised. All right. See you next week, and have a great week. If you need anything, let me know. All right, bye.